Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding for Senior Report is provided in part by a grant from Andrew Goodell, Assemblyman for the 150th District of the New York State Assembly. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. Senior Report with Reed Powers thanks Westfield's Schultz Chevy for a generous grant to inform seniors of important news. Over 50 years of service to Westfield by Chevrolet, Schultz Chevy across from the school. The physicians of Jamestown Primary Care are happy to sponsor the Senior Report. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And what a beautiful day in Chautauqua County, and the sun is beaming down. There's no snow coming down as of yet, and it's not even freezing down in Westfield, although up here in Mayville it might be different. It's just been it's been basically an average winter, I guess, if you figure the good days and the bad days we've had. And Chautauqua County's still a great place to live, guys. The turkey hunting is coming on before too long. We have 2 seasons up here. You can shoot turkeys in the fall and in the spring. And if you like a tough, gamey bird that takes you about 10 hours to pick and clean up and everything, you can get one out in the woods. If you, incidentally, you got to pay special permits, and you got to pay all kinds of extra money for licenses, and about $30, $40 in fees, and you got to buy the gun and the ammunition and everything, and it probably costs about $150 by the time you're done to get a turkey, and cleaning it up another 10 hours or whatever. However, you can go down to the supermarket and buy one for about $5, which is tender, sweet, and good. Oh, well, hello there, turkey hunters. I know, I went out myself. This is like venison. Everybody loves venison. Not everybody. I used to trade off when I got a deer, and I only got one in my life. My first deer was, I was 16, and I never got a deer since then. But I traded off most of the venison for beef. Some people relish the venison. It's actually very low fat. It's good for people with a cholesterol problem. Okay, enough said. We have a great guest coming on. We have Lisa Goodell. Now, Lisa is the wife of our long-term politician friend here in New York. He's my first show. That was 20 years ago almost. Andy Goodell, and he's in our legislature doing a fine job as our assemblyman. Now, she's going to talk about something totally different, and I didn't even know it was Lisa when I made the first call, because we had the Father Chuck, who's blind. He's a priest over in St. Peter's Church in Westfield, and he had said, you know, you ought to have the Blind Association. They do wonderful things, and he showed me his cane, which was a special cane that they gave him, and he praised them very highly. And I said, well, let's talk about it. Blindness is really something we should be aware of, and if you see somebody walking along with a white cane, slow down, whatever you do. And she's going to give us some information. They've got some really great specialty items for those people who are blind. And we've got other things going on. Of course, the news is incredible. The so-called sequester, which they set up a year ago, and I'm sure they had every intention of letting it go through too. And what it does basically is cut for the poor and the middle class, big cuts. Of course, it doesn't cut anything for the rich, and it doesn't cut their taxes either. And the poor are going to lose all kinds of benefits that they would get normally with this so-called sequester, and it'll be easy because they can say, well, I didn't pass it. It was passed years ago, and you know, we couldn't get together with the darn Republicans, Democrats, depending on which side of the aisle you're on, and it just went through. And whoa, it was me. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Cuomo is telling us he's got a wonderful balanced budget. Well, how about the fees? The fees have gone up outrageously. Oh, those aren't taxes, Mr. Powers. Those are just fees. Give me a break. By the time you get through paying all these extra fees, and it's going to be, oh, incidentally, you'll need to pay a fee to buy a box of 22s now because of that little midnight deal he passed through without going to committee, without people being able to react. They got the bill, and they voted immediately on it, and they passed it, the downstaters. And now you can't buy ammunition without the whole big shamil where they've got to give you the check. And that costs you money, of course, and you can't get a license every 5 years now. You got to go back and reprocess hundreds of dollars in time and training and so forth to have a pistol in New York. And it's getting to be, it's just craziness, the new laws. Only seven bullets in your clip. Give me a break. The crooks will have 100, kid. Don't just stand back. No so-called assault rifles, which are defined basically as semi-automatic. Not automatic. People think it's automatic. It ain't. An automatic is a machine gun. You pull the trigger, it keeps shooting. A semi-automatic, you got to pull the trigger each time. All pistols are semi-automatics. Half the shotguns, half the rifles now are semi-automatics. Well, if they do away with those, they've taken away most of your guns, just like that. Well, the sheriff in New York said he's going to be a little bit more cautious about taking anybody's guns. It's been suggested, well, we should have the National Guard come in and take them. Yeah, right. Keep an eye on the honest, law-abiding citizens who haven't killed anybody and don't plan to. Incidentally, one of the great things about this that they don't seem to care about, every single person who comes back from Vietnam, the Middle East, these wars, many of them have the post-traumatic syndrome. And they, since they will go for mental counseling and help, getting help, will not be allowed to own a gun. Oh, no, that's a mental case. It could come back. So you're taking guns away from most of the troops that come back. They'll never be able to own a gun again. Yeah, very interesting. Enough said about that. 20% increase in your taxes in Chautauqua County coming. I had a venerable member of our legislature on, Mr. Crosscut. Fred Crosscut tells us, yeah, he anticipates about a 20% tax increase, and other people say it might even be more. They're selling our hospital, our senior center for people over in Chautauqua County. We've had it for over a century. I remember when it used to be called the county farm, and it was over in DeWittville. And they grew a lot of vegetables there, a lot of their food there. Well, now we have the hospital, and it looks like they're going to sell it for a song, and they can't afford the few thousand, a couple $1 million for the seniors who have no place to go. And remember, this has 80% of its beds are on Medicaid. You can't find that in a normal hospital. Once they sell it, bye-bye Medicaid. You come a knocking, but we don't have any room for you. They only have a few beds for Medicaid in these hospitals. So that'll end the Medicaid, and the destitute seniors will have nowhere to go. I guess they'll just wheel them out on the front porch and say, hey, goodbye, nice knowing you. Who knows, Mrs. Jones? All right. I would contact your legislator and tell them no. And incidentally, one of the tricks is it takes a 2/3 vote. They're considering changing it and making it just a half vote, 50% vote, and then they'll get it. They lost the vote, incidentally, the ones that wanted to sell it. It was agreed, it was voted on, and the legislature said, no, we're not selling it. We're going to keep it. We'll figure out how to make some money off it, but we're going to keep it for the seniors who built this county, and goodbye seniors otherwise. And so what they are planning to do now is they said, well, it was voted down, but we're going to throw that vote out and have a revote. Well, you've got to be kidding. What's going on with our legislatures around here, our lawmakers? That's what they plan now, guys. So call them and tell them this is outrageous and you're not going to accept it. Chautauqua County, highest tax county in the United States. Call your legislature and tell them to start changing things a little bit. And if we get another 20%, probably there will be nobody living here. Or the few people that are will pay the, about a $1,000, $2,000 tax every year for the county. I got some good news. We have the Brockton Portland Seniors, a great club over there, and the Valentine Committee did a great job. They made cookies and decorated everything and so forth. Everybody makes heart-shaped cookies and paints them red with icing. I wanted to mention that Carm Johnson, February, they had a soup sandwich and dessert, which most senior groups do. So just a great way to go. You bring some soup, you bring a sandwich, you bring a dish to pass or whatever, bring your own silverware so you don't even have to fuss with that, and away you go. I wanted to say over there that they're going to have a St. Pat's party February 25th. That's a little early. Most of us celebrated on March the 17th. Ta-da! All right. And we do it, we love to do it. We actually have an Irish flag. We march around town singing Danny Boy and stuff. And that's after a libation or two. Little corned beef and cabbage. Great Belt Seniors, quite a bunch of guys over there. And they, I'll give you one of their dinners they just had recently. Homemade dishes, and everybody brings something. Salads, soups, quiches, pilafs, veggies, and delectable desserts. All right, Great Bell Seniors have a newly formed knitting and crocheting group. If you want to get into that, you're all set, baby. Check them out. They have a Pennsylvania Trail. Let's see, I'm sure that's Great Bell. Yeah, they have a Pennsylvania Trail trip that's coming up. It's an adventure, and it'll be May 14th to 17th. That's 3 days. That'll be overnights and everything. And they're going to have a PowerPoint presentation, so if you want to check that out, drop over and see it. It looks like they'll have a lot of fun. March 4th at 10:30, you're going to meet with Wen and find out if the vacation motor coach will drive to Laurel Highlands with a tour of Falling Water, one of Frank Lloyd Wright's most famous. It's probably Falling Water, actually. One of his best houses, and it was renovated. It really needed a lot of work. Call 672-5274 if you're interested, and they're going to have casino trips, of course. All seniors have casino trips. Don't gamble. They're going to give you $20 in slots and a $5 lunch ticket, and the trip costs, including bus and transportation and everything, $25. So you get $25 back. Use your chips. If you win, walk away. If you lose, walk away. Lakeshore Seniors, they meet at that wonderful Dunkirk Senior Center. And Stella Mikulak is in charge over there, the president. And if you want to get interested in that, you want to drop around and meet some people, drop around. I got one more thing here. They're telling me I better hurry up. My time's almost up. They all saying, okay, Silver Creek has a nice spot. If you go down the corner of roughly 20 and 5, Route 5, you'll find it. And they have their own place. They maintain it themselves. They paint it, they fix it, they roof it, they do the whole schmear. And they put in beautiful flowers. Happy birthday over there, Joyce Snyder and Evelyn Martin, Joan Suski, Michelle Henry, and Guy Patton. Michelle Henry might be our historian, too. We have the county historian is Michelle Henry. She was here a few months ago. They always do everything. Ed Newman runs the Silver Creek crowd. I want to say hello, Ed. You're doing a great job. Westfield, they have a great bunch. They meet at the YWCA, next to the library, just up one. And they have potluck also. Pat Cook provided the day's entertainment recently by singing Patsy Cline songs. Anybody remember one? Who's Patsy Cline? They only have $2 in dues at Westfield. That's dues are due. Can't beat it. And don't forget to pay your dues. This is the time everybody collects. Hello, Shirley Copine. She runs the Westfield crowd. And she has a husband who I want to wish him a happy 80th birthday. John Copine. They're, enough said. They said, you're out of time. I don't have any more time. I've got to quit. I've got to stop. I've got a public service announcement for you. And then we'll move on with John Doc Hamels.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Nicole Malachowski, a U.S. Air Force Fighter Squadron Commander and the first woman pilot with the United States Air Force Aerial Demonstration Team. My fellow airmen and I know that each of us plays a huge part in our victories, whether in the air or on the ground. We couldn't accomplish our mission without using everyone's skills to reach our goals. Embracing our differences and working together is also what has made America strong. Thank you for your support, and remember, our strength lies in our diversity. This message brought to you by the United States Air Force.
Diversity. We got a guy here who tells it like it is. He shoots from the hip, John Hamels. Doc.
Talking about gun control here.
They're all yelling, you know, after having passed this crazy law with the downstaters at the middle of the night. Andy tells us, incidentally, most of the law is directed at long arms, of course. And how many people were killed in New York City with long arms after all the people were shot? You know. None. Zero. Yep. Zero. Okay, so much for Cuomo sneaking his laws through in the legislature, completely circumventing all laws in New York State about passing laws and the Second Amendment. John, you're on. I'm through.
Note to the technical crew, remove that button. It sets him off. Good morning, Lisa, and welcome to the show. And good morning to our viewers. Well, Reed, you're remiss. I'm very disappointed in you. You didn't mention what's happening on March 7th with the Mayville seniors.
Well, they're having probably St. Patty's Day party.
They're having St. Patrick's Day, and one of your favorite Irish singers and his partner is going to be there.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you.
You're kidding me.
We're at the VFW, the Mayville Seniors, March 7th. It's going to be a great time, so if you folks want to join that
I'll be
group,
over there.
Oh.
I'm sure there'll be corned beef.
I couldn't tell you what they're having.
They got to have corned beef.
They got to have corned beef, but it's going to be a great day. I want to pass some information on to you that I had before I go into my little spiel here. Recently, I was over at the Hughes Center, the BOCES Center in Asheville, and how many of us have old computer keyboards and the CPUs, the towers, sitting in our basements or in a closet? Do you realize that they have a work-study program over there with the students in the special ed department, and they tear these things down, and they recycle the parts, and the proceeds go to the Chautauqua County Humane Society after they sell it.
And you know there are super magnets in these computers, which you can put on eBay for $50.
24 karat gold in a lot of the network, the circuitry. So what the kids do under their teacher, Jim Hedlund, they break down the parts, they sort it out, then they have a company that comes, and half of the proceeds from that goes to the Humane Society, and the students themselves, they get a little work-study pay through BOCES, and they learn some skills. So anyways, I'm going to keep this around here, but if anybody wants to donate any of those components, 763-1801, but you can call the Hughes Center anytime Monday through Friday. So
what was that number again?
763-1801. I'll bring this up from time to time, but anyways, they're taking your old computer components and making money for the Humane Society.
You betcha.
All right, so now on to what I want to talk about. This week has been kind of a fun week already for me, and Thursday, Lisa and I were at the same conference, and I'm a fellow Rotarian. And I was invited by Bill Tucker from the Jamestown PM or Noon Club to attend a summit on employability. And the reason why I bring it up, because I think this is one of the best conferences I've been to in a long time in Chautauqua County. What it did was brought well over 80 of us together from all sections of the community, and whether it's government or employers or guys like me that just sit around and tell people what we think. But we talked a lot about the situation where there's jobs, and we have people unemployed that have some skills or maybe need some skills upgrade, but how do we connect them? We have lots of jobs in this county that are unfilled, and I didn't realize that. And so this summit brought people together, and I'm sure there's going to be a next step to it all. But I just want you to know that the Rotarians over there took on this as part of their vision for their organization, and they're moving this agenda for Chautauqua County. Vince Horgan is a county legislator. He was part of the moderation of the event. Lisa's husband Andy was there, and he was chiming in on things. Greg Edwards and all your agencies and so forth, the Work Investment Board. Folks, if you are looking for work, check out the WIB, the Workforce Investment Board here in Mayville. There are jobs available, and if you need training, they've got programs for that. If you're trying to find maybe something that's a little different, and you're open to new training, there's programs for that, and just all kinds of stuff. But we're going to be reporting on that a lot. But I just want to congratulate the Jamestown Noon Rotary Club and all the other Rotary clubs and agencies they got together. It's a good project. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, my Rotary Club, it's Rotary Week, the Westfield Mayville Rotary Club, we've hooked up with the Westfield YWCA, the Rotary clubs at the high school level called Interact in Chautauqua and in Brockton, and the Rotaract Club from Fredonia State College. We're all descending upon the Westfield YWCA, and we are going to take a stand against bullying. You know, we talk a lot about social issues in our communities. Bullying is a predominant problem that just doesn't seem to go away. So what we're going to do today is we're all going to gather, we're going to have a little rally, we're going to take a photo, which you might think, what are you going to do with that? We're going to put it on social media, on the Facebook. You'll be seeing it soon, Lisa. And we're going to ask for Rotarians around the world, anyone else, to give us 1 million hits. In other words, we want to raise the consciousness of everyone about this social issue. A little girl in Ohio just last week hung herself because she'd been bullied so much. Kid, I think up in Buffalo, killed himself because of his sexual persuasion that didn't seem to be jiving with everybody else, and killed himself. We see people that are destroyed for the rest of their lives into adulthood because of bullying in their early years, and it continues on. Reed, this is a problem. I'm going to keep reporting on it. Thank God for the Rotary clubs. Back to you.
Okay, great. I encountered a number of bullies when I was a kid. I was a little small, and I was kind of, I don't know, different in that I was a good student. They weren't. And I finally learned how to deal with bullies. What you do is, when they're not looking, you smash them as hard as you can right in the nose or the throat, and then you drop them to the ground with a good kick, and you bite them hard, and best in the neck. And I'll tell you something, they'll figure you're crazy as a you-know-what kind of mouse, and they're not going to go near you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I distance myself from do not try this at home or at school.
And bullies have a kind of a group, and the word gets around.
Absolutely.
Don't mess with that
Don't
guy.
mess with that. But what we're going to do is we are going to let the kids know and others know that if they have issues, we're going to take a little more peaceful approach and keep talking to adults till you get some help. And all of us are standing against bullying. It stops with us. But you're absolutely right, Reed. It's
Fight back.
It's a fight back, but do it through peaceful means. And there is a feeding frenzy among people. But Reed, somehow I can see you biting somebody.
I've done it, my friend. I've done it. They don't bully me anymore. Lisa's sitting here. She doesn't believe this either. But that is one of the ways of dealing with bullies, is to fight back, learn to fight. That's where I learned to fight, in the YMCA.
Really?
Yeah, because there was a lot of bullying going on there, and they bashed you around and everything until you got to a certain point. When you fought back, they stopped messing with you.
Sure. Then they think you're crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, especially if you give them a good bite in the neck. Tear their throat out, you know.
I think that's the show right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not espouse this method of dealing with bullies, but if you reach the point where you're going to hang yourself, better you should hang them, you know, bite them, tear them apart, wait until they're not looking, give them those shot. Lisa is our guest today, and she's Lisa Goodell, and she runs the Blind Association of Chautauqua County, right?
That's true,
And
yes.
she has a big job to do. They have a lot of stuff there that they give out, and just like the wonderful loan closet, you know, we have a loan closet here in Chautauqua.
Oh, okay.
The town of Chautauqua runs it, and anybody in Chautauqua County can use it. If you need a prosthesis, if you need canes, if you need a bathing stool for the bathtub, you need a wheelchair, they will loan it to you.
Really?
Free.
And we do the same type of thing. If people have equipment that they're not using anymore, they give it back to us and we loan it out to people for free.
Now, what kind of equipment would you loan?
Well, it obviously all has to do with vision. So,
Yeah, right,
you know, we've
right.
got a lot of equipment out there that we have either given to people or they've gotten through other means. And when they're not using it anymore, they bring it back to us, magnifiers and all kinds of equipment that will help them see. And then we feel very strongly that this needs to get back out into the community, so we give it out to people that are in need.
Do you charge?
No, not for that. Not for that. And we feel real strongly that if equipment has been given to us by someone, we cannot charge to give that back out to someone else, so we do give it out for free.
Well, that's very nice, because, you know, a lot of people, it's like the loan closet doesn't charge if you're a local for 90 days. Then it's a Mickey Mouse amount. I think it's 50 cents a day or
Oh,
something,
that's,
you know.
yeah, pretty much.
Which basically
Minimal.
pays their costs. And I want to thank the Nancy Navarro and Jean Kelsey, incidentally, who really do the job over there. They don't a lot of time that.
That is a lot of time, yeah.
You can call them and or look up the loan closet online, and they get it to you. Now, where are you from, Lisa? Were you born here?
No, actually, I'm originally from Ohio.
Ohio.
Went from Ohio out to California to go to school and ended up back here in New York.
Where'd you go to school in California?
Southern California, Cal State.
Good.
That's where I got my master's degree.
The best. Well, I noticed you had a master. What's that in business administration or
Public
something?
administration.
Public administration.
Yeah, it sure is. Yep.
I'm poking through here trying to find out what I've got, and they keep telling me, you know, Reed, get on with the program. Right. So, do you have a dog?
We did have a dog, and he got hit by a car. It was very sad.
The saddest of all is when you hit him.
Oh, no, we didn't hit him.
Well, my mother-in-law ran over her dog.
Oh, no. This was very sad, though. My son was with the dog when he got hit, so it was very sad.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very sad.
So you got to get another dog, maybe.
Well, you know, now I'm home alone, that empty nest syndrome. My son's at college, and Andy's obviously always in Albany, so... Yeah, it's
yeah, you're
it's
all
a
alone.
quiet house.
You need a dog.
I need something.
You need a cat, anyway. All right, so then you came up here, and where'd you meet Andy?
I actually met Andy at the Girl Scouts. I was the executive director of the Girl Scouts, and he was the secretary of the board.
And he also is a legitimate card-carrying Girl Scout.
Yes, he was. He was, and he was on the board, and he was a secretary, and we met through there. So, very strange.
Yeah, well, when I had him on my show, some 20 years ago, that's the first thing you told me.
Yes,
You said,
yes.
I'm a Girl Scout.
And he was proud to be a Girl Scout. His girls were all Girl Scouts, and he was very proud to be still associated with the organization.
Well, see, before you know it, he's in the legislature. We need more Girl Scouts in the legislature, don't we?
Well, they do train you to be a very good public person and very responsible, and so they do train in a lot of ways. And so maybe he picked some of that up.
Yeah, whatever. So then you moved on, and how did you get involved with the blind?
I've been with the Blind Association about 5 years now. Their long-term executive director retired, and the job was available, and they hired me to come down and help them run the place.
You said you wanted to do it, huh?
I did.
And what do you have to do? What's running it entail?
Well, what we want to do, you know, my job really is grant writing, administration, and really to get the word out to the public. What I have found out in the 5 years that I've been there is that a lot of people don't know we actually exist in the community. So what I'm trying to do is to raise awareness in the community about the Blind Association and what we do and how we can help people.
I found out about you through Father Chuck Wheeler.
Yes, yes. He's a wonderful man.
He is.
Yes.
And he said, yeah, I really so much value your services. Now, you got some gadgets here. What's that funny looking thing? Looks like a little TV.
We have a lot of gadgets. You know, what we do at the Blind Association, we actually just changed our name recently. So it's now CBA Vision Rehabilitation Services. And we want people to know.
CBA.
So Chautauqua Blind Association,
Okay.
CBA, Vision Rehabilitation Services. You know, what we do is the rehabilitation part of vision loss. You know, eye doctors do the surgery and they do the evaluation and they can tell you what your vision is, and then we can help you with the rehabilitation part. You know, it's just if you had an injury or a surgery and then they sent you for physical or occupational therapy, that rehabilitation, we do that, we do it with the vision. So we do it with a lot of adaptive devices.
And that is one.
What we want to do is help people use their residual vision to maintain their independence, to maintain their involvement in their life, and to continue doing everything that they did before with some adaptations and some changes because of their loss of vision.
Okay.
So we do give out a lot of devices. You know, we still have handheld magnifiers, but things have changed. As technology has changed for the rest of us in the world, technology has changed for the visually impaired. So we've got things like this. So whereas we used to have handheld magnifiers, we now have something like this.
So it's just a magnifier with a light.
It's a magnifier. Now this magnifier actually can magnify from a 3% magnification up to a 10% magnification.
I see, it's huge.
It's huge, and it changes color. Because a lot of what we go through...
Why don't you show that to the camera so he can see it?
A lot of
Now,
what we go
put some
through
print
is...
under it.
I don't know if
Okay,
you
just get as big as you
see
can
this.
so
Let's
people can
see.
just see how this thing works.
So you can now change... Let's see. I have to do this backwards now. So you can change the size, and then you can also change the background.
So it makes it possible for somebody who has visual difficulties to see it.
It does, so you can take it. Now this machine also has this great button, and it's a freeze frame. So now I've taken a picture of what I was magnifying,
Oh,
and I can move this around. And this device is so small, I can now take this with me into a grocery store, and I can read labels on items. I can take this with me into a restaurant, and I can now read the menu. It's all about maintaining my independence. What can I continue doing on my own to make myself feel successful in my life?
what do they cost?
This costs about $500.
Whoa-wee!
It's a little expensive. It is a little expensive.
You own those?
We do loan some of these out. You know, the benefit of this, if you have just a handheld magnifier, it's one magnification.
Yeah.
And if your vision is changing, you have to buy another one and another one and another one, and then you end up spending
$2 a clip every time.
You do end up spending more, but this is a wonderful device, and it helps people. You know, on prescription bottles, they're so hard to read. The little tiny print on your prescription bottles.
That goes along with the doctor's signatures. You know, you can't.
You can't read those either. Well, that's a whole different story. But you can put your prescription behind this, and you can now read it. And you can now be responsible for taking care of yourself and your health without relying on somebody else to come in and read the prescription bottles for you and tell you which bottle is which bottle and what to take and when to take it.
Well, it's fortunate that my bottles are all well, I only take one thing,
That's good. That's good.
Because I have high blood pressure, as you can tell. And especially when I'm biting someone in the
Especially
neck.
when you're biting someone, yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
But the pills are different colors and different sizes and different things.
And
So
that's good,
My
that's good.
Zestral is a pink one, a little round. It looks just like the Viagra. Except it's blue. We got a couple of calls. Here you go. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. Good morning. I was wondering, because some of the things that are available are quite expensive. Is there financial aid available? Is it covered by Medicare? You know, is there help available for people that don't have a lot of money to purchase these things?
If you're in poverty, and many people who are blind probably are, I assume, it's pretty hard to get a good job.
No, it depends. When some of the people we deal with are legally blind, and if you're legally blind and come to us for services, our services are absolutely free. Now, if you're not legally blind and you would like some of this equipment, we try to set you up through financial aid, through the Lions Association or some other places in town that can give you financial aid.
The Lions does a lot for blind.
The Lions help us a lot, and we partner with them a lot on a lot of this. Once again, if some of this equipment has been given back to us, we do give it out for free. If somebody else had purchased it and they give it back when they're not using it anymore, we don't charge to give it out. We do give it out for free. But if you're legally blind or blind, our services are completely free.
What's the difference between legally blind and blind?
People who are legally blind still have residual vision.
They can still see a little bit.
They can see different parts, and everybody's vision is so different. And the reason you're losing your vision really will dictate what vision you've lost. Like if you have macular degeneration, you lose the central vision. You still have peripheral vision, but you just don't have the central vision. Where other problems, give you the central vision and not the peripheral vision, and then you've got the cataracts which cloud everything. So it really depends what your vision disability is. It will dictate what you lose.
Okay, I recently had the cataract surgery.
And you had the surgery.
And the doctor said, well, look, I'll set you up for the other eye some other time. So why don't you do them at once? So, we don't do it that way.
They don't.
Said, well, I don't think I'll bother with the other eye. As you pointed out, there's hardly any cataract at all.
Okay, then you're lucky.
So he took the first eye and cleaned it up, and the next morning I went out on my front porch and I took a look, and I could not believe my eyes.
Yes.
Because suddenly, instead of being brown, the house across the street was white. And I could see a license plate down at the end of the block.
Oh, good for you.
I couldn't see anything. I was stumbling around half blind. And I called him up. I went right back inside and called him and said, schedule that second one. I'm ready. Yeah. Next week I went in, and now I can see like a hawk.
Good for you. Good for you.
See like a hawk.
It's nice to get it back.
Well, I did the same thing when I several years ago, I had one eye done because we were still going to have insurance, and so the one eye was ready, the other one wasn't. But I'm thinking pretty soon. But I had a distance problem. Okay. I had to wear glasses, so they put the little lens thing in behind, so I no longer have to wear glasses.
Oh, good for you.
Well, now I'm starting to have to wear reading glasses, but other than that,
yeah, you notice.
It was a wonderful experience. And now
I have reading glasses. One of the things,
Lisa,
I'm sure you probably know this, but for the other folks out there, to have your eyes taken care of, so they get rid of the falling apart. If you have it taken care of, it takes about 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
And the doctor has 2 operation rooms going at once. He wheels you in and does your job, takes 15 minutes, and there's some sort of a machine that cracks your old lens, and then it sucks it out. Sounds like a Japanese violin or something. And then you see him pull, you can see the lens going in, the new lens. And the trouble is, it doesn't adjust. Like your lens can adjust to near and far, this can't do it. So you have to say, I want it for far vision, I want it for near vision. Okay. So everybody takes far vision, and you use these for near vision.
Sure.
Well, my next one, when I do get it done, I'm going to get the far vision because for a long time, the near vision, because for a long time I have been using my eyes. One eye is for far vision and one eye is for close vision. It's just because I only had one eye done at a time, and some people, it makes them sick to their stomach and they can't do it, but I have no problem with it, so I will still not hopefully have to wear glasses, although I'll probably keep my reading glasses with me.
There you go, okay. Yeah. Well, if you need glasses, incidentally, and Lisa probably has a hint of this, here's what you do. If you go to the average oculist, and I'm not putting them down in any way, but they're going to charge you $100 to $150 for your examination, and then you're going to pay about $150 to $200 to $300 for your frames and the lenses and all that. It's going to cost you a bunch. If you haven't got insurance to cover this, here's what I do, and I have done for years. You go down to your nearest Walmart. Every Walmart has a ocular center.
Yes, they do.
They go in. The one in Fredonia, last time I looked, charged $51 for a full examination by a professional, a doctor who knows.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Gives you a health examination along with your visual, and the visual is terrific. And then you ask them to write out your prescription for you. And you don't buy anything there. You go to Zenni or one of the many online frame operators. Zenni will You send your, our cameraman's got one right now. You send them your prescription, fill out a simple form with the prescription information, and then a week later you get a frame, and you can pick your frame from dozens, maybe hundreds of frames.
Yes, you can.
And they give you plastic, break-proof, light lenses. They're all fitted in, and it costs you $12. $12. That's for everything.
That is, yeah. I have heard of Zenni.
It's one of the many.
Yes,
There are other ones on board. And everybody I know, I tell them about that, and they who doesn't have insurance, and it's a cheap way. And I get two usually, because you're losing it all the time, so you need two. Especially when you get real old, you forget where you put them. Lisa Goodell, entertaining me and you, and telling us about the blind.
Thank you very much for the information.
Thank you, caller. Send me a stamp envelope, self-addressed, and I will send you $5 off at that wonderful little restaurant at the foot of the hill in Mayville, New York.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Right. It's I love the inn down there. It's fantastic.
It is nice.
Lakeview Inn. They have hotel rooms upstairs. See, so when you get plastered, you don't have to drive home. You just climb up the stairs and.
I'll remember that.
Okay, Lisa. So you were telling us about some of the gadgets you have.
I was.
First of all, tell us about dining in the dark. Hold that up.
Dining in the dark.
So we can get a shot of it on the air for you.
We decided a few years ago that we needed to start to do a fundraiser that really spoke to the mission of the Blind Association. And what we came up with was an event called Dining in the Dark. We have done it, this will be our third year.
I can see the Braille says Dining in the Dark.
It does, it does. We had this logo designed for us, and it is Braille around there, and it does say Dining in the Dark. This year we're doing it on March 21st. It's a Thursday, and we hold the event at the Chautauqua Suites. And we actually do blindfold people and feed you dinner.
Wow. And it must be a weird thing eating blind in the dark, really.
It's different. It's very different. But what the great part of this is we have partnered with JCC Occupational Therapy Department and the SUNY Pre-Med Department, and they actually have pre-optometry students there. We train them to be sighted guides.
What's a pre-optometry?
It's like a pre-med program, only these are students who will go in to be optometrists or ophthalmologists. So this is their pre-med program.
They work on eyes, in other words.
Right. So we train them to be sighted guides, and we train them in the techniques to work people through their meal. And to help you through the meal. So at every table there will be someone who is sighted, but the rest of the people at your table will be blindfolded, and you work through the meal.
When's this coming up?
It's on March 21st.
March 21st, right after St. Patty's Day.
Right after St. Patty's
nearby,
Day.
You know.
Now, I'll tell you, last year we actually had a student from Sherman who came who is completely blind. And a lot of the students at the school...
Did you put a blindfold on him just to be sure?
We did.
Okay.
But a lot of the students at the school couldn't understand the obstacles that he went through and the challenges that he has in his life. So we brought them to the dinner and we blindfolded them.
That means we got a phone call.
Oh, okay.
But
by the end of the meal, he was the hero of the evening. He helped them through their meal, and he instructed them on what they should do and how they should do it. And by the end of the night, they had so much more understanding of him and his life and the few obstacles that he goes through. It was a wonderful event.
Thank you, caller, for waiting. We got a caller. Let's take another one. Hi, caller, you're on.
Good morning. I have a question for your guest, please.
Okay.
Sure.
Many of us have relatives, aunts, uncles, parents that are slowly losing their vision for a variety of reasons.
Sure.
But it sounds like if you could get a diagnosis of legally blind, that would open doors for them for services?
It does. If you can get a diagnosis of legal blindness, then we are able to come in and provide our services for complete free.
Now again,
free
remind us, what is legal blindness?
You know, normal vision we all assume is 20/20. Legally blind, by the state definition, is 2200 with best correction. So if your eyes have been corrected through surgery or through glasses and you are still 2200 or worse, that is legally blind.
Okay, so that's real blind, right?
That's pretty low vision. Or if your field of vision, you know, most of us can see, if we just look ahead, we can see 180 degrees if we move our eyes. Somebody who's legally blind, their range of vision has actually been reduced to about 20 degrees, which we can think of as looking through a tube from a paper towel holder. It's really restricted. But if you can get a degree, a diagnosis of legal blindness, then we can definitely come in and do services for free. The staff travels all over the county. Obviously, people with this kind of reduced vision don't drive, and so we do all of our services in their home. If they're still working, we'll come out to the work site, or if they're young enough to be in school, we come out to the school site. We actually have 2 clients right now that are going to college at SUNY Fredonia, and we work with them on a weekly basis.
Okay, caller, does that help?
Yes, and have you had issues with seniors that would see this as a stigma or an embarrassment, and how do you deal with it?
We do. Actually, we used to have big magnets on the sides of our company vehicles when we would drive out that would say Blind Association, and people have asked us not to have those magnets on the cars anymore. So you're right, there is a bit of a stigma. I think the biggest obstacle for people being labeled as legally blind is doctors are required to report them to the DMV, and their licenses will be taken away.
Yeah, I just sent my wife's in, and she never renewed it anyway.
and that is the biggest challenge, is they will take the license away once you're labeled legally blind. But on the flip side, on the positive side, there is so much that we can offer you and so much that we can help you with, and then the services are completely free.
Okay, thank you, caller. Show us another one. What do we got there? What's this gadget?
This gadget is one of my most favorite gadgets. This is called a pen friend. Let me turn it on.
Called a what?
It's called a pen friend.
Okay.
We use this with people that, of course now it's not going to turn on, that are blind or losing their vision. This comes with these stickers, and these stickers will go on anything. So we can put these stickers on food in the freezer, for instance.
Yeah.
And we can record on these stickers what object this is, how you cook it. You know, this is frozen macaroni and cheese.
What if you can't see it?
You feel this sticker, and then you take this pen, and now I did this.
All right, you're going to show me. Nothing.
No, wait. No, wait.
Hey, Reed, I'm so excited to be on your show and to share with you information about CVA Vision Rehabilitation Services.
I think that was pre-recorded.
I recorded that last night. So this is what it is. You can record on these dots. I can put these dots on clothing.
What a gadget.
So that I can feel this on my clothes and
And it
know that
talks to
this
you.
is my striped shirt and these are my polka dot pants. I really don't want to wear those together today.
Right, okay, now what's that cost you? About $800?
This is $125.
That's almost worth it, that guy.
But the best thing about this is, besides that, you can download books from the internet on this pen. It's an MP3 player. I can download books, I can download music, and I can use this to record all types of things and play them back to me for
There you go.
$125.
You can't
this
go
is
wrong.
the best
Call
thing
it,
around.
Call it a pen friend? or
Pen
what?
friend.
Pen friend.
It's a pen friend.
I think I'll get one whether I'm blind or not. You know, it'll remind me of what the hell I'm doing. You know, just put it.
It's a great thing. It really helps a lot of people.
I have such a problem with my freezer. You know, I have to date everything.
Well,
and I always do.
See, and now you can cook your own food.
Sure. Okay,
So-
we got a caller. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Reed. This
Yes.
is Linda Spalding.
Well, hi, Linda. You know, I was just
morning.
going to mention you have a bunch of jobs too for seniors.
Yes, I do.
What do you got?
Well, right now, of course, we have limited funding, and we've got a lot of people on a waiting list, but we are looking for someone to do clerical and data entry work in the Jamestown area, and it
computer,
will start with the senior aid funding, and then it will go into the agency hiring that person. We're also looking for a transport aide in the Jamestown area.
Okay.
This is with the senior aid
What's a
program.
plan transport aid? What do they do?
Well, they help people on and off the vehicles for transportation for the disabled.
Do they drive also?
No.
No, in other words,
They
they're
handle-
accompany the driver.
Well, they help people on and off the wheelchair lift, and it's with the senior aid program. It can lead to training as a driver because it is with cars.
Sure.
But people should contact me if they're interested. Those are the only 2 positions that we have right now. I also wanted to mention that we have our free computer training, which is going on at the Patterson Library in Westfield. We need more people. There's also computer training at the Dunkirk Library and at the Jamestown office for the aging. And people should call our office if they would like to be referred. And it's a very excellent training.
Okay. And the numbers are right up there in front of you.
Right, right. And people work at their own pace with a peer coach that's there all the time to assist them and guide them. I also wanted to mention, you were talking about the WIB and jobs, the Workforce Investment Board. If people are looking for work, they need help for resumes, or they're interested in training, we have what we call the one-stops. It's called Chautauqua Works. There's one in Jamestown on 3rd Street, right on the corner of 3rd and Pine. And then there's another Chautauqua Works in Dunkirk on Central. So if people of any age group are interested, they should contact them, go in there. A counselor will work with them, refer them to training, refer them to jobs, update their resume for them. It's a great place.
Yeah, well, Chautauqua County, it's wonderful to have that service here.
It is.
Yeah, we have great service.
I hear your dogs.
Yeah, that's Toulouse. He wanted to put his 2 cents in. I wanted to ask you, Lisa, how do people get tickets for your fundraiser?
You can contact us at the office, and our number is 664-6660, and we would be glad to take your reservation over the phone, and then you can pay the night of the event or forward your checks on to us. But it is a great event. It's
when
such
is it?
an opportunity.
March the 20...
March the 21st. It's a Thursday.
That's the first day of spring, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
The
So
phone
you need
number
to
again?
spring into the new year by coming and experiencing what it's like to live a couple hours without your sight.
And I'd like to have this. I tell you, that's a friend. I'll tell you. We got a couple of minutes left here. First of all, what's the phone number again?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
incidentally.
you.
Linda Spaulding. Have your dogs learned to play the piano yet?
No, they're not quite as creative as Squirty.
They used to have a dog called Squirty.
Who played the
He
piano?
could play the piano. And whenever she called in, or her wonderful husband, Doug, who has passed on, sadly, may he rest in peace, they would play the piano.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Squirty also played the guitar.
Oh my gosh, I can't even play the guitar.
He's very musical.
I'm very impressed.
I'm not kidding. Have a great week.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
You too. We have another call. The calls are just ongoing.
Okay,
what do you
good.
want? You want to take one? I want to have you show me this thing.
That is this thing. That is the pen.
Oh, that is, it's a big package, huh?
The only other thing I brought were these great magnifying glasses. You know, these are distance magnifying glasses.
Okay.
So each lens adjusts separately.
Let me try them.
Okay, now there's a little wheel here.
Oh, it's
to
like a
adjust.
telescope then.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a
So
telescope.
for distance.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's
Now, we
great.
used to give people big screens to put in front of a TV
Right,
that would magnify the TV.
Now, how do you move these up and down? You adjust
There's
them?
little wheels on the side there. You see the little wheels right here?
Okay.
So each lens adjusts separately.
How about that? That is incredible.
They are incredible. They are just
How much
incredible.
are these? 3,000 or
Oh,
something?
no, they're about $100.
$100?
Yeah, they're not that expensive. But they are a great thing. If you're sitting in a room of people and you want to watch TV, you can now use these to magnify the TV
There you
so
go.
it doesn't distort it for anybody else sitting in the room with you.
Okay. Hello, caller. You're on.
Hey, good morning, Reed. Good morning, Lisa. I just
morning.
got a quick comment and a question. My comment is, back in the 70s, had a blind friend. He taught me how to take him jogging. He played foosball. I mean, we had a Monopoly game. He taught me to type a little braille. It was interesting. And my question is, I go around, I see a lot of handicap signs on doors, bathrooms and stuff. Just wondering now, how does a blind person find, the braille sign in the men's room?
Yeah, they put braille on them, I've noticed.
They are
Is there like a certain height that they feel for, or or how do they do that? And is this area well equipped for blind people, or do we need to do a lot more to help them get around? And I'll let you talk, and I'll hang up here.
Well,
Okay.
thanks, caller.
There is a state requirement as how high that the braille has to be on doors and on signs. So there is a requirement for that. We help a lot of people get around through their community. I have staff people that are called orientation and mobility specialists. So you'll see people out helping with guiding eye dogs, with the guide sticks, with the white cane, And my staff's job is to help people learn how to orient through their environment and how to be mobile and keep active. You'll also see some of the stop signs and crossing walks in the county have beeping. They have the audible signs.
Oh,
we work with the Department of Transportation to get those put in. You know, once again, our goal is to keep people mobile, keep people active, and keep people independent. So there is a lot that we can do to help them do that, and Braille is one of them, and being mobile around the community is another.
And these gadgets certainly are wonderful things. Well, show me that last gadget. Now, what is that?
This is just my glasses. These are my reading glasses, Reed. You bet.
Okay.
Those are just my glasses. I definitely use my reading glasses. And
oh, yeah, so do I. Yeah.
We all need them.
Yeah. Well, I have them all over the house. See, one by the computer, one by my desk where I do my puzzles, crosswords.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got to have one. I keep one here, and I carry one in my pocket at all times.
Oh, wow. Good for you. Good for you.
Which keeps getting bent.
Well, that'll happen if you're carrying them, yeah.
Okay. Last phone call, Chuck Wheeler. Father Chuck is the priest at St. Peter's in Westfield. Hello, Chuck.
Good morning, Reed. Good morning, John. And good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. How are you?
See what you caused here, Chuck?
Yeah, I see that. I'm glad you listened to me, Reed. You did a good thing.
Well, she's a great guest.
I just wanted to thank the Blind Association again publicly and affirm everything that's been said on the program about the value of the association. I know they've been very helpful to me, and my caseworker Sally in particular was wonderful, and the whole association is doing a very good work, and you're to be commended. So
Thank you.
Great big thank you, and I've enjoyed the program this morning. And
well, thank you, Chuck. You did a great program.
Thank you so
much. You were very, you were stirring. He is blind, of course,
yes,
and he's doing a great job. Also, he is at St. Peter's. Now, one of the things I noticed at St. Peter's is they have a box where you can toss old lenses and old frames into it.
Yes.
And the Lions Club apparently has a big act here. And I don't know what they do with them, but when I was in France, they had a outdoor market, a flea market, and there was a glasses street. And there were just millions of glasses, and you went around, and people went around and put them on until they got pretty good vision in one of them, and they bought them for nothing. You know? Thank you, Chuck. I got to go.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Again. God bless you all.
Okay, God bless you, too. I just got that. We're out of here.
All right.
That's running us off the air, and I'm going to give you just until 2 just to talk. Close off.
Close off. Well, we do want people to know that Chautauqua Blind Association, CBA Vision Rehabilitation Services, is in the county, and we are available to help anybody that has vision problems. One of the other things that we do is work with preschools around the county to do vision screenings. It's a free service that we offer to all the preschools. What we want to find through this vision screening is amblyopia, which we all know is lazy eye. We have found that if we can find lazy eye when these kids are under 5 years of age, we can refer them to eye care specialists in the community, and we can save their sight.
Okay, time is up. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Give them their phone number one last time.
664-6660.
Okay, if you need further information, call that number and you can be all set. And they're very helpful, especially to people who are blind. As Chuck said, you know, they do a job. The Blind Association, I'm going to continue calling it that. It's just too much to try to remember all those letters and names and so forth. Okay. I want to thank certain people who made it possible. Sorry, caller, the last caller, you are not on yet, but we'll get you on when Andy's here. Chuck Kelsey, Devin Taylor, Chris Burt, Randy Burt, Chris Ramaker, Jeff Zook, and finally Don Zenz, and last but not least, John Hamels. Thank you for this part of our crew. Thank you for making this show possible. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for calling in. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.